First, we're going to go on to Chris. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, what you got for us?
Well, I've called him before,
Okay.
and about your topic, I don't have much to say about that. Really why I call in is because I still don't understand why atheists need to have a show talking about their belief. I mean, I don't.
Okay.
Hold on, because I do have one comment about the topic. The woman stated that, Christians believe that, gay marriage is wrong because it's a crime against God or whatever. I know plenty of people, maybe the majority of Christians in organized religion think that, but I do know people that consider themselves Christians that don't have that point of view.
Oh, yeah.
And
there were a lot of
also, but I mean, all in all, she also said that, she hangs around a lot of open-minded, liberal, atheists and stuff. But if you're an atheist, you don't believe in God, obviously. Well, is that really open-minded, though? Because isn't there a chance there, just because it hasn't been proven to you that there could be a God? And to truthfully be open-minded, wouldn't you at least come to the realization, well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I don't? Because, you can't say that you have everything figured out. And one thing is for sure, that there is a creative intelligence behind life on Earth, or else we wouldn't have an ecosystem and stuff like that. That kind of shows that there's a system that man can't really, he can screw it up with his own self-will. And, and plenty of them do, but that's what men do. Whereas the actual, just the fact that there is an ecosystem kind of does prove that there is really something beyond our control and our ability to,
All right,
say,
we get,
well, men
we get
know
what you're saying here.
and-
Okay, you threw out quite a few points there. First off, why we have the show. You said that you wanted to jump on that one.
I'd like to take this one. It's a pretty easy question to answer. I mean, we don't, you asked us why we need to have the show. We don't need to have the show, but I mean, the reason we have the show is educational. I mean, we believe that people fear or are intolerant to what they don't understand, and one of the very common things to not understand is atheists. A lot of people I've talked to have never met an atheist in person, and everything they know about atheism is something they learned from their pastor. And no, we do not believe in Satan or worship Satan, and no, we are not evil, immoral people, and no, we do not, we are not closed-minded people. And so part of the point of our show is just educational. It's just, promote, I'd say promote religious tolerance, except we're not a religion, but promote tolerance towards human beings that believe a different viewpoint by exposing them to, just giving people the opportunity to call into the show, ask them all these list of questions that you just asked us, and we can answer it for you.
Well, I'm not a religious person. I'm not at all. The thing, though, is that I'm also not saying that there isn't a God or there is a God, because I don't know. I'm just a human being. And the thing is that when I see a show like this, it reminds me of the other, the Christian broadcast and stuff like that. Really all those shows are doing is preaching to the choir, because you're not really going to change a religious person's mind on those things. And when you talk about atheism, really the only people that are going to agree with you are other atheists anyway.
And the point of the show is not to make people agree with us. Although some of the other co-hosts will disagree, and I've seen some co-hosts go on the show and say, yes, our goal is to make other people think about it and eventually decide that they don't believe in God either. But that's not the targeted goal of our group. That's not one of the tenets of the atheist community of Austin. The goal of our group is educational and
promote positive atheism. It's basically outreach.
Outreach.
That's another point to the show.
Right. Well, and we're to a certain extent we are preaching to the choir, but that's a good thing, because there's a lot of people out there that don't know that there are other atheists out there, and they've been in the closet, and they've felt shut out. They felt like they don't have a community out there.
There are lots of people who have shown up to our meeting, and their idea, as in their family is religious, and typically around work, their coworkers are very religious, and so they're hearing "God bless you," and they're hearing, God has a plan.
What's wrong with "God bless you"?
Well, now just hang on a second. I'm getting somewhere with this. Just give me a chance. And so they've got lots and lots and lots of religious references everywhere. They're kind of sick of it. And so when all of a sudden they see that there's an atheist group out there, and they can go somewhere where they're not going to be bombarded with, religious rhetoric all the time, then that's a good thing for them. And so that's another part to the show is, again, just outreach to those people who just want a different group to hang out with. What is that?
Sure
well, they're not really atheists, though, because...
They could be. Why not?
Well, but the thing is that if you have to go, well, all these other people believe in what I believe in, so that makes it okay to believe in it, then you really don't believe in it.
No, that's not what we're doing.
Necessarily, no. That's incorrect.
Let me give you another example.
That is incorrect.
Let me give you another example.
No, that's not. Hold on.
No.
That's not incorrect.
Yes,
it's not correct.
Wait.
Listen, I grew up around Catholics. All my...
Go. We'll get you back on in a couple seconds.
Okay. Well, let me give you another example, okay? The thing is, it's nice to know that you have it's nice to know that you can be around other people that think the way you do. For example, one of the really big things about religion is it gives you a way to think about death. And I talked about this on the show the last time I was on. It gives you a way to think about death. When you're atheist, it's really hard to deal with death because you don't know how, because you don't believe that this person has gone on to a better place. You don't believe that this person is with God. You don't believe that God has a plan. You don't have any of these ways for dealing with death. And frankly, I was 19 years old the first time somebody close to me died. It was my grandfather. And I'm telling you, when I went around and everybody came up to me and said all this religious propaganda, oh, he's with God now, oh, God has a reason for all this, and
place, and
he's in a better place, and oh, you should be happy, blah, blah, blah. It really just made me very angry because I was hurt and I was sad, and I didn't want everybody telling me, oh, you should be happy because he's dead because of all this God stuff. And I didn't want people saying, oh, God is with you or Jesus loves you or whatever. That didn't make me feel better, but I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anybody around me. And as a matter of fact, we didn't even have like a funeral or memorial service where I could get together with the other people that loved my grandpa, that were mourning for my grandpa, so that we could just kind of share each other's company and feel better about the fact that, we're not alone in this, And
death in general it's a hard thing to deal with, period. But we have lots and lots of examples in normal society, religious society, that say, this is how you're supposed to, this is, just looking at movies, if nothing else. This is how you deal with death. And you have the funeral, you have prayers, you go to the church, you trust in God and all this kind of stuff. And if you don't believe any of that, you're kind of left wondering, what am I supposed to do here? Mm-hmm. And so if I don't want to go to a church, what do I do?
How do I deal with this? Denial? Denial is a really bad way to deal with it. And that's just one example of why it's good to have a community of people around you that think like you. I mean, anybody would agree with that. Anybody that goes to church and picks a particular church that they like over any other church, or joins a youth group, or joins, whatever. That's the same reason anybody does it. Yeah. And that's another part of it, too. That's another part. You were saying that, we're saying that there are people out there that think they don't believe in God, and when they realize there's other people that are out there that don't believe in God also, then it's okay. And you're saying, well, they're not really atheist because they're only saying it's okay to not believe in God because there are other people out there that are saying that too. And frankly, I mean, when you live in a society where 99% of the population, 99.9% of the population around you thinks one certain way, it is the easiest route to take to just practice denial, like I was saying before, to just say, well, I guess I believe in God just because that's what my parents taught me, or I guess I believe in God just because that's what everybody's telling me, or that's what I'm hearing, or just because,
Okay. I'll also bring one more quick point that he had mentioned, and then we'll bring you back on in just a couple of seconds. You had said atheism is potentially closed-minded because we don't believe in a God, therefore we're not accepting of the fact that there could be a God. Again, not exactly correct. We do. I have not seen enough evidence to believe that there is a God. However, if evidence comes up later this evening, tomorrow, next year, next month, next decade, whatever, that then proves that there is a God or gives a really strong, the evidence strongly shows that there could be, then sure, I'll believe. Are people closed-minded because they don't believe in unicorns or Bigfoot? I don't call that closed-minded. I call that kind of rational. If you don't have a really good reason to believe in that stuff, then there's no real point in believing it. Again, a lot of the religious people are similarly closed-minded in that there is a God, I know it, end of story, end of discussion.
And any evidence that ever comes my way, you know,
Yeah.
to prove otherwise or to
Exactly.
even suggest otherwise,
It's going
I'm
to
not
be
even going to
completely
look at.